The story of Zulaikha and Yusuf is one of the most famous and poignant tales in Islamic tradition, chronicled in the Quran in Surah Yusuf chapter 12. It is a story of love, temptation, patience, and divine intervention, which illustrates moral and spiritual lessons. The narrative also appears in Jewish and Christian traditions, though there are variations in the details. Below is a detailed account based on Islamic sources. The background of Prophet Yusuf. Joseph. Prophet Yusuf as was the son of Prophet Jacob as, who had 12 sons. Prophet Yusuf as was the most beloved of his father's children, which created jealousy and resentment in the hearts of his brothers. One day, out of envy, they plotted to get rid of him. They threw him into a well, and he was later found and sold as a slave to an Egyptian nobleman, referred to in the Quran as Al-Aziz. Zulaikha, the wife of Al-Aziz. Zulaikha was the wife of Al-Aziz, high-ranking official in Egypt. After Prophet Yusuf was brought to Egypt and sold as a slave, he was purchased by Al-Aziz and taken into his household. Prophet Yusuf was known for his exceptional beauty and noble character, which caught the eye of Zulaikha, the wife of his master. In some Islamic traditions, Zulaikha is described as a woman of high status and beauty, but she soon became infatuated with Prophet Yusuf. Zulaikha's infatuation with Prophet Yusuf grew stronger as time passed, and she tried to seduce him. She locked all the doors of her house and invited him to her chamber, intending to commit an immoral act. Prophet Yusuf, however, was steadfast in his devotion to Allah and resisted her advances. He made it clear that he would never betray the trust of his master, Al-Aziz, nor commit a sin. The Quran recounts this event in Surah Yusuf, where Prophet Yusuf prays to Allah for protection from her temptation, saying, "My Lord, I seek refuge in you from the evil of what they do, and I seek refuge in you from their deceitful plans." Quran 12:33. When Zulaikha tried to force him, Prophet Yusuf ran toward the door to escape, but she tore his shirt from behind, signaling her attempts to force him. At this moment, her husband, Al-Aziz, entered the room and saw the situation. Zulaikha quickly tried to accuse Prophet Yusuf of trying to harm her, but Prophet Yusuf defended himself by saying that it was she who had attempted to seduce him. The test and the accusations. Zulaikha's relatives and neighbors, when hearing the story, were inclined to believe her accusations, given that Prophet Yusuf was a young and handsome man, and Zulaikha was a woman of high rank, but the truth was revealed through the testimony of a child, or in some interpretations, relative. The child declared that if Prophet Yusuf's shirt was torn from the front, then he was guilty, but if it was torn from behind, it meant that she had tried to attack him. When Al-Aziz inspected the shirt, he found it torn from behind, which proved Prophet Yusuf's innocence. Despite this, the scandal still spread, and Zulaikha's reputation was at stake. To protect her honor, Zulaikha invited the women of the city to a banquet, where she had given them knives to cut fruit. When they saw Prophet Yusuf as he entered, they were so struck by his beauty that they cut their hands instead of the fruit. They then remarked, "This is not a man, this is but a noble angel." Zulaikha, still deeply in love with Prophet Yusuf, confessed her feelings and admitted her guilt. She said to her husband that she had indeed tried to seduce Prophet Yusuf, but Prophet Yusuf had resisted her. Al-Aziz, acknowledging the truth, decided to keep Prophet Yusuf in seclusion to avoid further scandal. Prophet Yusuf's imprisonment, to avoid further harm to the reputation of the household, and despite Prophet Yusuf's innocence, Al-Aziz decided to have him imprisoned. Prophet Yusuf was sent to jail, where he spent many years. However, even in prison, he remained patient, faithful to Allah, and continued to maintain his noble character. Divine intervention and Prophet Yusuf's rise to power. During his time in prison, Prophet Yusuf interpreted the dreams of two fellow prisoners. One of them was released and returned to serve the king, and he later remembered Prophet Yusuf when the king had a troubling dream. The king's dream involved 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean cows, and 7 green ears of corn being eaten by 7 dry ones. Prophet Yusuf interpreted the dream, revealing that Egypt would experience 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. Impressed by Prophet Yusuf's wisdom, the king sought to have him released from prison and appointed him to a high-ranking position in his government. In charge of the country's grain stores, Prophet Yusuf rose to power and became a trusted advisor to the king. Reunion with his family, the 7 years of abundance came to an end, and the famine began, as predicted. Prophet Yusuf's brothers, who had come to Egypt seeking food, did not recognize him. After a series of events, Prophet Yusuf revealed his identity to them and forgave them for their past cruelty. He invited his father, Prophet Yaqub, to Egypt, where the family was reunited. Moral lessons from the story: patience and trust in Allah. Prophet Yusuf has displayed great patience in the face of adversity, and his story teaches that those who remain patient and trust in Allah will be rewarded. Resisting temptation. Prophet Yusuf resisted Zulaikha's temptations, showing the importance of holding fast to moral values and avoiding sin. Forgiveness. Despite the wrongdoings of his brothers, Prophet Yusuf forgave them and reconciled, teaching the importance of forgiveness. The story of Prophet Yusuf and Zulaikha is one of profound lessons in love, temptation, patience, repentance, and divine wisdom. It showcases the strength of faith and the importance of trusting in Allah's plan, even when faced with injustice and hardship. Prophet Yusuf's journey from the well to the throne exemplifies the power of patience and the rewards of righteousness, while Zulaikha's transformation highlights the possibility of redemption and the strength of repentance.